Everyone, Ben Coomber Radio, we are back. I have someone, I got described on Twitter the other day as a celebrity because I'm going to do a celebrity rugby match in London. Well, at the time of recording this, I'm going on Sunday. And the word celebrity for me was really weird. But today I have actually like a genuine celebrity. She does like TV and things. I pretend to do it. She actually does it. Anna Williamson, hello.
Hello, Ben. And do you know what? I mean, if you're a celebrity, I'm a celebrity, and vice versa. That's how I see it. We're just normal people that are just happy to be alive, doing what we do, right?
What I say is, I'm a normal guy. I just like the sound of my voice. I just like to talk a lot. But you just told me you don't like the sound of your voice.
Well, do you know what? That was a bit of a conflict, I think, within myself. I have verbal diarrhea constantly. I'm a professional gob on a stick. But when I hear it back, I always cringe and go, "Oh my God, is that what you all have to listen to?" I do apologise.
Yeah. So is it my turn to speak yet? Hello.
Yeah. Terrible.
Anna, give us some background. There's going to be loads of people that don't know who you are. What do you do? Who is Anna Williamson?
Yeah, great one. So first of all, hello everyone. It's so nice to be joining you. I'm a big fan of the show, and it's been recommended to me by some of my private clients actually. My name's Anna, and I've been a TV presenter sort of first and foremost for the past 18 years. I started out in children's TV, so I started out doing all of the kids networks such as Nickelodeon and Disney. But a lot of people that sort of watched this particular show. It was quite a cult sort of kids hit. It was a show called Therapeutic that I presented on ITV for about 5 or 6 years. It finished about 4 years ago, which was very slapstick. It was very sort of tis was, but now, and that was a hugely popular show. In fact, it was number one in its field for those 5 years, which was fab. But then since then, I've gone on over the years to present for the various reincarnations of GMTV, then Daybreak, then Good Morning Britain. But I do a lot of agony aunting now for This Morning, for Celebrity Big Brother and Big Brother's bit on the side. I have my own radio show now on Talk Radio. So I kind of tend to be in that space now with regards to television and media. I'm very much on the bandwagon of an anxiety and mental health campaigner as well. I do a lot of work for Mind Charity and Childline and the Prince's Trust. And I'm a qualified life coach and master NLP practitioner and counsellor as well. So, and that was something that I did a good few years ago as an aside to my media work. It was kind of more my worthy side, something that interested me as opposed to the bright lights of the industry. But as years have gone on, it's threaded through now, and I sort of juggle hand in hand my private work as a coach and also bringing those sort of skills and messages across to everybody through the art of television and media.
Fascinating. I was actually an actor from the age of 8 to 18, and I was going to go into the big stage myself. And it wasn't until I lost all the weight and did the fitness thing, I was like, I can't do it anymore. I've got to go and share the fitness thing. And it's weird because now my work is going from fitness back into kind of trying to have a bigger voice for myself, I suppose. So it's fascinating how these things work and how you've kept that professional side of your work. Right, I know I've only got you for 20 minutes, so I want to get right into the meat and bones of things today. We've been talking a lot on the show about mindset, psychology, anxiety. I think anxiety is something that we haven't quite breached yet. Now, throughout your journey in TV, your personal life, it seems you've had and suffered with anxiety in various different forms. And the fact that you share that and are open about that celebrity, for me, is absolutely incredible. I'm very open about all the stuff that I've been doing. I've talked about myself going through therapy and why I've done it and what I was trying to kind of work out. What did the anxiety look like for you, and how did you work to deal with it? And the reason I ask is that a lot of others will be listening to this with anxiety in mild or severe forms. Yeah,
great question. Sorry, did you have anything else to say there?
No, I'm done.
You're done. You're out of here. So thank you for that. That's really, it always means a lot to me when people feed back and say, thanks for being so honest and open about your experiences. And I don't do it to have my halo polished or anything like that, or to be a martyr. I do it because I'm sick and tired of there being such a stigma surrounding mental health. And I really felt that when I suffered with my anxiety. So, I mean, I was, just to give a background to your viewers, I was diagnosed with generalised anxiety disorder and panic disorder back in 2007. And that was as a result of, and I'm sure a lot of people can identify with this, all things to all people, juggling a billion jobs. I was on telly, doing this particular kids show at the time, which I loved, but was really fast paced. There was a lot of stuff to learn for it. There was a little conflict within my team at times as well. A lot of strong characters that I was having to kind of juggle with, whilst being the main sort of leader as well of that show, or one of the leaders. And I was also in a toxic relationship as well, which didn't help. So kind of thrown into the mix there. And then also, you have to kind of go and see your parents every weekend. Your mate wants you to go out and get chorry on a Friday night. Then you get grief because you don't go out. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. We're all in that. We're all pulled. We are all pulled all the time. And I would say 90% of my clients reflect actually how I was back then. Which is why I love being able to kind of help them go, whoa, right, let's pause button everything and let's work through it. But basically, in a nutshell, everything imploded for me. I started to develop anxiety and then other symptoms surrounding it, such as insomnia, obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, which were all triggers and all telltale signs that emotionally and mentally things were starting to unravel, and I needed to seriously take a damn good look at it and get some help for it. Because I couldn't identify at the time, I didn't know what this was. I didn't actually even have a clue what even mental health was. How bizarre is that? It never was anything that was in my psyche, But as a result of it, it all came down to a day when I hadn't slept for ages. The panic attacks were just relentless. Something's always going to give. There's always going to be a physical, not always, but majority of the time, there will always be a physical representation or presentation of an internal, mental health or mental well-being issue. Sometimes people get stomach ulcers, sometimes people faint, or whatever. For me, it was just these walloping panic attacks, which were, if anyone's had them, they're awful. They can grip you, in the chest. It feels like you're having a heart attack. But one thing I will say as well, that please don't ever worry, because you will never die from a panic attack. Not solely from a panic attack. It won't kill you. They just feel terrible at the time. But it is your body's response mechanism. It's like a big alarm going off saying, you need to chill out. You need to seriously take a step back at the moment, because you are not coping. You're overloading your system. So that's what happened to me. And the way to answer that question in a very roundabout way, how it kind of presented to me, was anxiety looked like, for me, like a very lonely, isolated, scary as hell place to be. These panic attacks were just so gripping and felt so physically awful. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know what they were. So when we don't know what something is, we do tend to sort of shy away, I think, from asking for help, because we're not quite sure. But it wasn't until I finally said that magic word, help, to someone that I trusted, that I got the help I needed, and that I managed to actually get a label for what I was experiencing. And some people don't like the label, some people do. For me, I felt so reassured that when I went to see my doctor, he went, oh yes, you have an anxiety disorder. For me, it was brilliant. It was like, what, you mean other people get this? He was like, well, yeah. It's like, thank God for that. I'm not on my own in this. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a very, very scary, scary time, and I spend my whole life campaigning to other people to let them know that it's okay, and it's okay to ask for help.
So when you first asked for help, was it the doctor that you went to? And I'm assuming he might have then referred you to somewhere else.
Well, actually, that would be the normal course of action. That's what I would suggest to people. Go to your GP. Thing is, though, and I'm not bashing GPs at all. I've got friends of mine that are GPs. But unless you get one that's specifically trained in mental health, did that particular, semester or whatever it is in their qualifications, it can be difficult sometimes to get an empathetic doctor on board. So what I would say as well to people is, ask your doctor's surgery if they have any of their GPs that specialise in mental health. Chances are there will be one, and if you get one that understands and empathises and sympathises, then that's half the battle won. I see so many people that see a GP that don't really have much of a background in that area, and it really puts them off because they kind of get met with a, well, I don't know, take a pill or, go and see a counsellor. And it can sometimes be a negative experience for people. So there are GPs out there that are specialised in mental health, and I hope as time goes on it will now become a mandatory part of their training, which is a whole new thing, but
Sure.
Campaign-wise, we really hope, and let's be honest, if we go to a doctor for physical health, stands to reason we go to a doctor for mental health. So for me, it's absolutely balmy that it isn't a mandatory part of training. But I actually sidetracked that purely because my mother at the time was working as a medical secretary for a private hospital who happened to under a really fantastic consultant psychiatrist. Might sound a bit dramatic to go all the way straight into a psychiatrist where, perhaps a bit of meditation might have helped me. But at the time, we were desperate. I was absolutely rock bottom. I had enough. I was fantasizing about crashing my car just to give myself a break. I was that needing people to leave me alone and needing an escape route. I didn't want to kill myself, but I did want to have a bit of an accident just to give me a bit of a get out of jail for a few weeks. So anyway, I saw him, and I'm very fortunate that kind of it's that whole who and he did specialise in anxiety disorders, so it was kind of a no-brainer. Let's chuck some money at the situation. Going private and going immediately isn't cheap, let's be honest, but when you're in those desperate situations, you sell your granny, wouldn't you, to get help?
Yeah.
So I didn't sell my granny, be pleased to know, so I went to see the consultant psychiatrist, who was amazing, and that started my road to recovery, and it was a very quick one. Getting that it wasn't early intervention, but the intervention then and there, as when I'd asked for help, and through a whole combination of therapies with him, hypnosis, just talking, really, if I'm honest with you, Ben, EFT, NLP, all kinds of different sort of talking therapies, and a little bit of medication thrown in for luck, just to kind of let my body and brain have a bit of well-needed time out, was what worked for me.
Because for me, anxiety, when I look at your situation, let's say I was your counsellor for a minute. If I looked at your situation, there was so much going on that was environmental that actually you could get a lot of quick wins if someone very quickly said, Anna, actually, I think you need to step back from your work just a little bit. You need to look at your relationship. Whereas if anxiety, if we had anxiety around like your family situation, or it's something that happened in your childhood, that might be a lot slower of a win because it's more ingrained in your body.
Yeah, really good point. And I would say I would absolutely agree with that, and that is what happened with me. Mine was a little bit more environmental, but again, that comes with its own set of challenges, because I beat myself up about it before I asked for help, by saying to myself, well, I don't deserve. Why do I feel like this? I've had a good childhood. I've got great parents who are still together. What have I got to be upset about? What have I got to be, to be anxious about? And I think that is often a problem too. We carry so much guilt, feeling that we don't deserve to feel like we're feeling. So we don't own up to it or ask for help because we are worried. People will go, what have you got to worry about? I mean, how guilty are we of people that do that? When they feel depressed. Oh, what are you depressed about? They're going to be depressed. Or show them something to be depressed about. Do you know what I mean? But that's the whole thing. Whatever you're feeling is unique to you and is as valid and as real as it is to anybody that is experiencing anything in their life. And yes, background can play a huge part in anxiety. And a lot of my clients and a lot of my work is spent sort of doing timeline therapy and regressional therapy, to try and, using the NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to try and identify what those negative memories are, which are perhaps creating unresourceful behaviour, maybe creating blocks going forward, and perhaps evoking anxiety in a different situation, which is presenting itself in the present, but actually is a learned behaviour from something in the past. And that is where talking therapies can be absolutely vital in identifying what has perhaps gone on in the past, if there is something, making sense of it, exploring it, changing it. We can't change a memory, we would never change a memory, but we can get a different perspective on a memory, and we can also remove and loosen the feelings attached to it. I think the NLP is just life-changing. I think it's amazing. I really do. That's my personal opinion on it, because it helped me and it helps so many of my clients. And that's not me being great as a practitioner. It's people being willing to open up and think of a different way and not let past define them. But yeah, it's a great question. There are different ways anxiety can present. Mine was environmental, I think, very much so. It was the situations I was in. I wasn't coping. I wasn't sticking up for myself. I was a classic people pleaser, being all things to all people. So I left my own, health, physical and mental, right at the bottom of the list. Yes to everybody until I was absolutely knackered and burnt out. And that's why one thing I did a big seminar yesterday, saying to people, we know there's only one of us. We assume we only get one shot at life as well. Be selfish. Being selfish doesn't mean you don't care about anybody else. It just means that you put yourself and your own well-being to the top of that list the majority of the time. And you know what? If you're the best that you can be, everything else will sing as a result around you.
I love that. I love it because, I think it's a bit more of a classic female trait in that you want to please everyone. And there's so many people that I coach. I'm just like, do you know what? You look after yourself first. It's the whole aeroplane face mask analogy. Put that on first and then help other people.
Perfect analogy, yes.
Now, I know we're running out of time. I want to just talk about, because I see anxiety very much as an extrinsic factor for a lot of people. Now, I think, being a celebrity, let's draw on your kind of position here, is that there's a lot of eyes on you all the time, and you felt pressure around that. Now, I don't know if the statistics for anxiety are increasing. You're going to be more well aware of that. But there's almost a lot more people that are now celebrities in the world because we've got social media, we've got Snapchat, people have got tens of thousands of followers, and actually they are minor celebrities on various levels. So for me, anxiety is probably only going to increase because there's more eyes on everyone all the time and pressure to do stuff.
Yeah, we're becoming more paranoid, I think, as a nation, and yes, to answer that question, I don't know the specific statistics at the moment, but anxiety is increasing. Certainly the awareness is increasing, and we don't know, mental health in general is being more disclosed now, mental health issues, should I say, more disclosed, and which is a great thing. And I don't know if that is as a result of the media making more of it. I suspect a lot of it is to do with that, and that's great because as a mind campaigner, that's what we're doing. We're trying to shed that light on it and we're trying to normalise it, for people. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Really, it's not. The stats are, and this is probably going to actually decrease, as in 1 in 4 of us will suffer from a mental health issue at any time in our life. That's a hell of a big stat. Your fabulous viewers now, watching, that's a huge proportion of people that are watching now. If it's not you, if it's not them, it's going to be someone they know. It could be a loved one, a friend, a family member, a colleague, a child. Now, the problem that the moment that sort of mental health does sort of seem to evoke is a lot of guilt and shame. When I felt unwell, people, my mum was like, what have I done wrong? Did I bring you up badly? Did I do something? She did absolutely nothing wrong. She was an exemplary mother. And that's the thing. It can happen to anyone. It does not discriminate. It doesn't matter who you are, what background you're from, whether you've had a peachy life or whether you've had, the wrong side of the train tracks. It doesn't matter who you are. And that's what I'm trying to get across to everyone, is don't beat yourself up about it. If you have a bit of a blip, it happens, and you know what? You can get over it just as quickly as it turned up. Not in all cases, let's be realistic, but majority of the time, if you know what those warning signs are. And just to kind of go on about, being sort of on the telly, I put myself in that position to be on the telly and on the radio. But weirdly, the more I'm comfortable about talking about myself and my past and my triggers, the less likely and the less they ever happen anymore, because you lift up that lid on it and you're not having to suppress it. So because everyone knows, so to speak, I don't feel that pressure to have to be the person that I'm perhaps not. And I also feel very comfortable to go, do you know what? I'm exhausted today. I'm having some real anxiety issues. I need to take a step back. And people need to be aware of that, I think, in the public eye as well. Being all things to all people on social media, for example, can carry some risks, and you need to put yourself and your privacy first.
But you're you, and a lot of people are not being them. They're only showing half of them online, and that's a big problem.
That is a huge problem, and there's so many people, and you've probably seen the stories too of, social media stars, Instagram stars, these girls that are I can't remember one, I can't give you a name actually, but there's been a few that have built up their profile and their followers based on, selfies and stuff, and then come out of the woodwork now and saying actually that's a complete lie. I spent 18 hours trying to get that damn shot of me sitting on a rock on a beach, that kind of thing. And I think that's the key thing as well, authenticity. We do live in a YouTube world now. I'm a big fan of it. But we are also more discerning, I think, as viewers. I mean, take yourself, for example. You have the phenomenal following you have because you are so authentic. You are so genuine. We've just met today. I already like you. I think you're incredibly open, but you're an open book. And I think I absolutely get where you're coming. I can tell already the kind of person you are. You're a good guy, good intentions and good morals, and you work damn hard, and I can tell that. And I think that's the thing. It's being authentic. We are all entitled to have a side, to have a private life. I have a private life, of course I do. But at the same time, I never compromise who I am to everybody else. I hate using this phrase, but what you see is what you get. And perhaps before I hid behind a persona. Happy, smiley, sunny Anna off kids' telly. I am still happy, smiley, sunny Anna. In fact, I'm more happy, smiley, sunny Anna now as a result of having a mental health issue. How crazy is that? But because I know myself so much better now, I'm not afraid to say, do you know what? I need to take a few days out. I need to look after me now. I did it last night, as I just explained to you. I mean, I'm pregnant now, so I have to think a bit differently. But instead of, getting the pressure, please go to this event, please go to this event. I was tired. I've got a very busy week ahead of me. I made that decision. No, if I go out tonight, I'm going to exhaust myself, and what are the repercussions? I get tired. I don't sleep. The anxiety creeps in. Boom. Back down spiral, which ends up meaning I'll need a whole week off anyway in a week. So it's knowing what your triggers are. I am far more energized today because I stayed in last night and relaxed and listened to my body and listened to my mind. And that's really what I want to kind of, portray today to people. Just notice when you just need to, you don't have to do everything all the time. Sometimes we disappoint people. Sometimes we have to flake out. Yeah. It's not a good thing to do, but you know what? As long as you can manage it appropriately, and I'm always as honest and as open as I can about things that I can or can't attend. And you know what? If you're honest about it, in my experience now, whereas I never used to, I used to make up all kinds of excuses or just do it just to, because I felt I had to or because I was going to get shunned or not. People are really pretty understanding. I think honesty really is the best policy.
I couldn't agree more. I wish way more people were honest in all walks of life. Christ. And then there's the fact of fake honesty. Anyway, Anna, I've used up your time. I'm going to respect that. I want people to be able to come and find you if they want to contact you. I know you're a health coach. I know you try and push various charities. So here's a minute to be able to kind of tell people where to come and find you and support your work.
Fabulous, Benjamin. If anyone wants to just, catch up with what I do daily Instagram videos. Well, they're kind of daily, but they're kind of, 15 seconds, quick snippets. I use the hashtag anxiety busting, but it's just kind of really just normal layman's terms based on what I'm doing, and then I kind of thread it into a bit of just a feel-good fix, kind of your thought for the day. So if you go on my Instagram, I've got a load of different social media channels. But
what are you on Instagram? I'm gonna stalk you now because I went on your website this morning and it only said you were on Twitter.
I'm on it. I need to get that updated. Thank you for that. I'll make a note of that one. So my Instagram is @lifecoachingbyAnna. My website to do with my coaching is lifecoachingbyAnna@gmail. It's my email address, but it's on there at gmail.com. LifecoachingbyAnna.com is my website address. If anything else, just my normal website address is annawilliamson.co.uk, and everything threads through from that, other than Instagram, which I will get sorted out. And there it is. And I'm on Twitter as well, which is @AnnaWilliamsTV. I've probably confused everybody, but if in doubt, just go on my main website, annawilliamson.co.uk, and it all sort of threads in. And I love to hear from people, and I love to be inspired about what I do next on my YouTube channels, YouTube videos, what I do on my social, on my Instagram or on my Twitter, and also just as well, I'm writing a book at the moment. I've got a publishing deal with Bloomsbury Publishing, and I've got a book on a real kind of light-hearted take on anxiety, a self-help, how to cope, SOS handbag book, handbag guide, which is out in February as well. So I'm hoping that people will get a lot out of that.
Amazing. Well, I've followed you on Instagram already. And yeah, people, you know where to find her. Anna Williamson, not Williams, Williamson.
That's the one.
Find her website. You'll be able to find all the links, and hopefully she'll update that with Instagram once she posts her web designer. and kicks him into gear. And I just want to say thank you for coming on the show. You have a very busy schedule, far more busier than mine. Keep doing what you're doing. I think you're a beautiful soul. The work you do is fantastic. So don't stop. And yeah, thank you.
Ben, you're an absolute gentleman. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you for having me on. And my sentiments entirely to you. Between us, we will rule the world.
We will. If you've enjoyed today, please share it. Get me and Anna on Instagram and Twitter. Tag us in. Maybe say something. Tell us how the show affected you. What you might want to change. Take action. Don't just be a passive listener. Take action on what you've learned today and communicate with us. And Anna is always going to be around when she's free. Can get you to answer whatever questions you have.
Definitely. I'm always on Twitter and I'll always respond as well as much as I can. Love to hear people's feedback.
Awesome. Right, everyone. That's me out from the show. I will see you when I see you, whether it's next week. Who knows? Ciao. Hey everyone, Ben Coomber Radio, episode number 189. Now this is part 2 of the Confessions podcast.